Lots to unpack here, so let's get to it, shall we? I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Smackdown from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have a new Intercontinental Champion in Walter. I'm going to keep calling him that. And Michael Cole continues to fuck up on commentary. As is tradition, 25 years of Michael Cole, who has been constantly fucking up the last number of years, even though he had a great call when Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair faced off in the main event of Mania 37 Night 1. It wasn't the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in history. That came just a few months ago, but nevertheless, yes, a new Intercontinental Champion. I can't wait to see the title not defended on pay-per-view. Premium live events for the foreseeable future. Honestly, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the Intercontinental Championship, but after what they have done, or rather not done, with the Intercontinental Championship for the last number of years, it's actually a miracle they didn't just put that goddamn thing on ice. That being said, this also was one of the better editions of SmackDown, maybe the best all year. I mean, they actually put fucking effort in here. They really did. I mean, hey, I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. I keep hoping that Michael Cole will be off TV soon. Just take him off of commentary. He's so fucking rotten. We get a card rundown, and Drew McIntyre is backstage ready to make his entrance, but Peter Dune is right there, apparently delivering newspapers in some void. Why was he there? He gets thrown into Sheamus, and Drew says, keep an eye on him. And then it's Drew versus Sheamus in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. They beat the shit out of each other. There's an apron bump. I don't fucking know why. But it is the hardest part of the ring. Butcher Dune. I mean, I'm just going to keep coming up with different names until they give him an outfit that isn't so fucking cartoonish and bullshit. But this is a good match. They never really have a dull match, in all honesty, even though they did feud for a bit longer than we needed. But they were always bangers, and I still barely know her. Cole continues to botch constantly. Botch moves and botch whatever, because he's really bad at his job. We get some near falls, some kickouts, some big moves. And then Peter Dune gets involved. And then we get a double countout. But then it is called a double disqualification when they try to do the lightsaber thing with the chairs, but the countout had already been called, so it couldn't have been a double disqualification. But initially it's a countout. And then, even though double disqualification or double countout, Michael Cole said, did anybody qualify, you fucking lobotomized dweeb? Fucking hell, somebody needs to slap him around and see if they can knock any goddamn sense into him. I know that he's got Vince McMahon in his goddamn ear like a brain parasite, but fucking goddamn hell, Michael Cole, you are really fucking atrocious. So anyway, we come back, they're still brawling. A double DQ. Which is it? I don't care. This is a bad ending. I mean, I get if you want to have them feud and not have either one of them take a loss and maybe feud in the Money in the Bank. They're probably going to get included into the men's Money in the Bank match as it is, because, let's be perfectly honest, with Roman Reigns taking vacation time, well, at least, it seemed like he was going to be taking vacation time for a while. He's going to have to come back next week because of the result of this main event. But goddamn, just figure out, if you can't have something clean, if you're just going to do something convoluted like this, don't book the fucking match. That being said, it was hard-hitting, and then it was ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, recaps of Cody's courageous caper. Look, I'm glad that Cody had successful surgery. Hopefully he will come back soon. He ain't going to be out 9 months, folks. He'll probably be back by the Rumble. Might be back by Survivor Series. Who the fuck knows? I hope he recovers. He's also a fucking idiot for working through that. You can't work through a torn pectoral muscle. Nevertheless, I look forward to getting, butchered in the comments just for basically saying the guy was a fucking idiot, when I would call anybody a fucking idiot regardless of what company they work for. And then Kayla is there with Lacey. She says, if I win in Money in the Bank, I can challenge for any championship at any time. So they got away from the commercial that said, they would cash in at WrestleMania. Whatever, the Money in the Bank concept has been pretty much just on ice for a while. And wake up, work, and win. Geez, why don't you just tattoo MAGA on your fucking forehead, Lacey? I mean, I'm not saying that she would be the only one, but this gimmick just screams conservative, upbringing. That's what it fucking... And granted, she suffered. Yes, a lot of people fucking suffer. And now it's to the point where her gear is ridiculous. It's like if G.I. Jane tried to be a soccer mom. And we get VR Money in the Bank graphics and Confederacy graphics for Lacey Evans' Titantron. Zaya has MK Lightning graphics. Remember when Xia Li could have actually been something and were putting a lot of effort and doing storyboard art stuff, and I said, I can't wait for them not to use her? Well, guess who was right and didn't want to be? Unfortunately, I was, and I didn't want to be right. The crowd goes mild, and Nagira on Lacey is ridiculous, and she fists her for the win. A dirty blonde fisting a Chinese woman in Baton Rouge, I usually have to pay extra to see that. Drew demands that Pierce put him in the match. Or just put it in. I don't really know, in all honesty. Rousey the Raccoon is here, and then we get a package on the Viking Raiders joining the raid. They showed, the bullshit they did with the Street Profits and all that axe throwing and all that crap, and I would like to offer a friendly reminder that that was some of the worst shit that they've done, regardless of the pandemic or whatever. It wasn't entertaining, it was bullshit, and anybody who liked it, good, I'm glad you liked it. I just wasn't that easily amused by bullshit. And I know wrestling can be silly. That was bad. So Lacey's ears were burning when Join the Raid came up. Same with Jericho. Don't worry. I'll talk about him in the Rampage review. Sheamus yells at Pierce, while Pete Turdoon continues to do the same bullshit. And then Ronda, she briefly knocks Natty. Shotzi shows up. And, oh, Shotzi, well, you're onsies. Or on skis, or however the fuck, Ronda said it. Shotzi herniated every fucking disc in her back trying to get something out of Rousey here. This was fucking brutal. Not because Shotzi can't work, and not because Ronda isn't an athlete. Despite the amount of times I will knock Rousey the Raccoon, the Sandy Hook denier that she is. I wonder how she feels about the shooting in Uvalde. Well, I really shouldn't say anything about that, but if you have anything to say that's negative about that, go so to fucking hell. Rousey has, is not one to rest on her laurels. That's cute, Michael Cole. That's cute. We don't fucking believe you. You don't believe you, but whatever. There was a nice tornado DDT. There was Let's Go Shotzi chant. Shotzi was showing off here. Really, really trying hard to get something out of Ronda. Anything at this point. And, well, yeah, then we get the Piper's Pit for the victory, and then Natty attacks her and locks on the sharpshooter. And good on Natty. She's really trying hard to make this feud interesting. Now, Riddle, he wants vengeance against Roman. And did they change Walter's theme? Because I think they did. Corbin and Carmella are going to be part of some USFL watch party. It's kind of fitting those two are involved in the USFL, especially Carmella, because her career is about as lively as the USFL. Kayla says that Ronda is hurt, while Ronda does really bad acting and doesn't know how an ice pack works. I'm not fucking shocked by this. It sounds like I'm negative about this show. There were good things on this show, but also there was bullshit. What wasn't bullshit was Ricochet losing to Volta for the Intercontinental Championship for the glory of the Kaiser. And Samantha has to watch her boyfriend get brutalized. Now, Ricochet had a good showing here, and don't get me wrong, I would have liked to have seen Ricochet have a longer Intercontinental Championship run, but remember when Ricochet and Balor won the U.S. Championship for Balor and the Intercontinental Championship for Ricochet? Remember when they won those mid-card titles and everybody's like, oh, they don't feature them and everything, and yeah, how'd those fucking reigns work out? Balor lost pretty much every goddamn match and lost the title to Theory, and Ricochet didn't defend it on goddamn pay-per-view, premium live event, and now he lost in a TV match. It was pretty good. It would have been good on pay-per-view, but they gave it to Walter. There was a chop that echoed throughout the arena. It sounded like a goddamn shotgun blast, and Courtney Love's ears are burning. If you know, you know. Then Ricochet fires up at the knee strike, gets hit with a lariat for 2, he gets hit with the sleeper, but then he does a standing shooting star to get a 2. This is good stuff. But a shotgun drop kick, again, Courtney Love's ears are burning. And then a powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, new champ. Again, I can't wait for the Intercontinental Championship to not be defended at any premium live event for the foreseeable future. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they actually maybe try to revitalize the Intercontinental title, but they need to keep it on Walter for at least a year, or at least until Mania. Give him consistent wins. Don't give him an Alex Wright dancing gimmick. No, I will not do the dance. And just do something better with him. And in case you can hear some loud noises, there is a severe rainstorm going on above my head, as opposed to going on below me. That would mean that the world's upside down all around. Come on, defense work. Good on Walter for winning the the Intercontinental Championship. He might as well also be the U.S. champion, because maybe he could defend both titles and make them matter. Theory sure as fuck ain't making the U.S. title matter. So Zayn is greeted by Heyman. He says, if you win, then great. If you lose, then Sammy makes his entrance, and then we go to a video package on Cena meeting a fan who fled from Ukraine named Misha. And terrible what's going on in Ukraine. Nobody should have to suffer through that, and we all know that it's a bunch of bullshit what they're going through over there. Just a bunch of goddamn bullshit. Good guy Cena. This is good stuff. Sammy makes his entrance. We go to break. We then get clips of the supermarket brawl for some reason. And then Sammy, Sammy's still in the ring, by the way. Can we go back to next week on SmackDown? Wait, I mean last week. Again, Michael Cole really fucking bad at his job. Recaps of the tag match, and then we get Riddle's entrance. We go to break. Recaps of Moss and Corbin. Decisive victory for Moss, but they're going to have a last laugh match next week. The last laugh will pretty much be, air escaping from the remaining fan that is basically falling asleep and snorting and doing that because they're just going to let out their last breath while trying to watch that show and then giving up because that feud is fucking putrid. Oh. And then also Max Dupree debuts his new client next week. It is supposed to be this week, but they forgot. They said he had travel issues. They're already giving up on this. I will be amazed if this whole stable is not just fucking dropped. Riddle and Zayn took on each other, and obviously if they were teaming, it would be weird. Heyman was on commentary. Stipulation: if Zayn wins and Riddle is banned from SmackDown. If Riddle wins, then he gets a shot at Roman Reigns' Undisputed Championship next week. I'm invoking something that I'm calling the Anything Goes rule, and also the Riddle rule. Riddle wins with an RKO. And then the Usos brawl, and then Riddle gets out a kendo stick and beats the shit out of him. I don't care how good Riddle is in the ring. He's fucking annoying. He's fucking boring. Zayn, I don't care about Zayn because of the Anything Goes match. It's the most embarrassing thing to professional wrestling that has happened this year. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, there you go. That being said, pretty damn good episode of SmackDown, despite the Anything Goes rule having to be invoked. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.